A Farewell to Arms study guide by. First, we'll discuss book basics in context, author biography, character, plot, chapter summarize, quotes, symbol, theme, and suggested reading. Book basic. Author Ernest Hemingway. Year published 1929. A genre was war literature. Respective and narrator. A Farewell to Arms is written in first-person narrative from the respective Lieutenant Frederick Henry. Looking back after the fact, Henry is trying to make sense of war and the death of his lover, British nurse Catherine Brackline. About the tense, Farewell to Arms is written in the past tense. About the title, the novel's title, A Farewell to Arms, suggested Henry farewell the both war, the arm of armament, and love, the embracing arm of Catherine. In contrast, A Farewell to Arms was published 11 years after World, World War I ended. Hemingway did not feel obligated to explain geographical or political reference as they were as they were well remembered by most of his audience. No, no originally as the Great War, World War IX, 1914 to 1918 pitted the Allied forces, Great Britain, Italy, France, Japan, Britain, joined by the United States in 1917, against the Central Power Austria-Hungary, Turkey, and Germany. The majority of this novel's fighting takes place the Alps against the northern border of Italian. Henry recovered in the Milan Hospital in northern Italy, far from the front line, and Cavalles in Stresa, a lakeside resort town in the northwestern corner of Italy near the border of Switzerland. World War One was a harrowing war that took the lives of more than 8 million soldiers and injured more than 21 million others. Almost the entire war was fought out using the inti- intricate maze of trenches. When soldiers ate, slept, and fought, life in the trenches was brutal. Soldiers lived in narrow holes dug in the ground, often exposed to challenging conditions including bad weather, insect, and rotten near latrines and mass gaps contributed to trench filth and stench. Soldiers were given daily rations of food, but supplies could not dangerous to distribute, which meant soldiers often went without, especially toward the end of war. Originally, Additionally, I was the first war in which combatants used chemical weapon, victim of chemical attacks, defensely, defenseless, and they died painfully, seeking death. During World War I governments used propaganda to encourage young men to defend their country honor by fighting the front, chasing wartime glory. Young men signed up, often droves unaware of what was the what was really like. Even before the United States entered the war in 1917, many American volunteered on the Allied side. Henry is one of these volunteers, having signed up to be an ambulance driver in the Italian army. As the conflict dragged on, however, volunteer forces were not enough to sustain the war effort. Governments had to draft young men into service to fill out their armed forces. Upon arriving at the front, however, some soldiers became disillusioned. Those who had survived the war were often scared by their experience. Gertrude Stein, a mentor of Hemingway's, referred to these young people as a lost generation. The name lost generation came applied to the group of artists and writers, including Hemingway, who came of age during World War I. For them, the war was a common theme in their work. A failure to arm, for example, described the disorganization, bewilderment, and mindless tragedy of the war. This description placed the novel in the genre of anti-war literature. American audience loved A Farewell to Arm when it was first released. Publishing wartime novel was in vogue in the late 1920s. Yet the New York Times called Hemingway's venture unique, moving, and beautiful. Still, his manuscript was censored at publication. Published feared that it barracks the talk would too offensive. International audiences were not as enamored of Hemingway's depiction of the war. Italy banned the book for its less than ideal portrayal of the Italian army. Hemingway even went so far as publish a disclaimer reminding Italian audience that the novel was a work of fiction and not based on his experience. But to enable a farewell to arm would not be printed or sold in Italy until after World War II. Thanks for watching.